Welcome to my channel. This is Manaka, and this is my channel, Manaka. Today I wanted to talk about the things I've learned in the last year of being a mother. I should have written this shit down. Anyway, first and foremost, I realized that not everything that everyone does is something that you should be doing as well. Like, yes, there's FOMO, but sometimes some things are just more important than that. For example, baby showers and photo shoots, what do they call them? Pregnancy photo shoots. I didn't have a pregnancy photo shoot. And yes, it gave me FOMO, right? But I realized I still got the chance to take pictures with my phone, with my digital phone. Like, literally, we in 21st century, we can take pictures with our phones. We can print them out if we really want to. It doesn't have to be professional. Unfortunately, we don't all have the money to spend the K or whatever on the dress, the makeup. And you know what's weird? Like, I really thought I wanted it until I realized that, number one, I'm not that fancy. I'm not. So I kind of got over it really quickly. The baby shower, I don't know. The one I had was great. I did explain it in my other video. The one I had was great. It was a select few of my friends, people who wanted to show me some love, and it wasn't too much, like, for me, that was nice. I'm a very minimalistic kind of girl, so it made sense. And I'm grateful for the people who planned it. But I feel like if you are pregnant right now, or if you have a friend who is pregnant, chat to them, find out what they want, because your idea of what they want might not be what they want. Also, if you are the pregnant person, don't do things for other people. Do it for yourself. I feel like people are always doing things for other people and then they get disappointed because they don't actually realize it's supposed to be for you. It was also a time, I think it also had to do with my Saturn return, like it starting and all of that. It was also a time where I kind of realized the relationships that would stay, the relationships that were good for me and those that weren't really good for me. It was a time where you kind of get to see who is more of a forceful relationship kind of person and who goes with the natural sort of vibe of, I'm gonna check in on you and I'm not. So like you really realize those kind of things. And it was a time where I learned that you are not alone, number one, but also you are not forced to follow the decisions of other people. Yes, you can get advice from people who have been mothers. You can get advice from people who have been parents, your own parents, grandparents, and so forth. But you don't have to follow what they say. It is your own journey. And it's up to you and your partner, if your partner is obviously around, what it is that you want to do. So obviously, number one, you need to make sure that you and your partner are on the same page. So that you discuss, because this child is a product of both of you, obviously. So you both need to discuss what it is that you want for the child in the long run, obviously. If it isn't something that you've discussed before, like what kind of child you want to raise, morals, morals, and I forget the other word. But those are the kind of things you can discuss while you're pregnant, right? You can also discuss different things like tradition, religion, spirituality, because it does become a thing when you have a child. As much as the Christian church likes talking about not being equally yoked, and that becomes very evident when you have a child, because one person either needs to sacrifice their beliefs so that you can implement your own. If you are both understanding of, say, these things, if you're both understanding and like the kind of people who can, the kind of people who can move through life by not expecting everything to go your way, then it should be fine, because you can teach the child that, you know what, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But we're going to teach you what we know, right? The reason why I say this is because there's a lot of weird things that come up when it comes to babies. Like, traditionally, all of a sudden, your family becomes traditional, or even yourself, you become traditional, and all this time you weren't, all of a sudden you become spiritual or religious, when all this time you weren't. Like, you were calling yourself, what's that religion that where they like baptizing kids? It's Christian, but it's the other one. I forget. Anyway, all of a sudden, you were raised in this church. You don't believe in the things they do, but now you have a baby. You're going to do it anyway. You understand? So those are the kind of things you need to discuss with your partner so you can both be on the same page. Then there's also things where you need to figure out whether you're going to follow what other people say or build your own sort of routines, build your own sort of things that you want to celebrate and stuff like that. Like, everyone has an opinion, especially people with kids. And I've realized it's really all about you and your partner, obviously, and how you want to raise your child. I think it's very disrespectful for people who have had children, or your parents or your grandparents, to want to put their own beliefs and their own ideas onto the way that you need to raise a child. I find it very, very disrespectful. But I do realize also that a lot of older people have this tendency to think they're right, which is unfortunate, because we can all learn from each other. Actually, we can learn from people who are younger than us. We can learn from people that are older than us. The things, we just have to be open-minded enough to do it. The other thing is, if you have a friend who is, or you have a sister or a cousin, just any sort of relationship with somebody that you consider yourself close to, who has a baby or is about to have a baby, a young baby, right? The first year is very fucking difficult. Yes, we all go through things as adults, but one piece of advice that I can give you is to always be there. The one thing I learned, and I know that I did it myself in the past. I assumed that my friends who at the time had babies, that I wouldn't be able to be around them or talk to them. Like, when you assume that you need to give somebody space, but they haven't actually told you that that's what they want, that needs to go out the window. If you are a friend or a family person, family member of somebody who is about to have a child, talk to them, especially if you consider yourself close to them. Talk to them about what they expect from you. If they're still pregnant and they're not sure, check in with them at least twice a week. Actually, more than that. Probably every single day. In the morning, check in. How are you today? Because there's so much that can happen. Like, I'm just going to say it's a different, because it's like a whole 180. Like, your life was a certain way. Yes, you were pregnant for 9 months, but it changes when there's an actual baby in front of you. It changes so much. So if you are somebody who's a family member or a friend who is about to have a child or has a child who is under a year, I'm going to say under a year, under 6 months. Well, let's start with under 6 months. Under 6 months, that's when you can check in on them every day. In the morning, how are you doing today? Did you sleep okay? Do you need me to buy you anything or get you anything or help you with anything? It's as simple as that. Showing that you are still there in your own certain way, right? Even if the person wants to talk, because trust me, they want to talk. You might not know anything about babies, but you know about your friend. Yes, they have changed, or your sister. Yes, they have changed, but they haven't changed to the extent that they're somebody else. You understand? So that's the pivotal point. Like, especially if they're the kind of people who say they can't have visitors, as soon as they can have visitors, make sure you are there. Like, it shouldn't be a thing of like, I don't know what I'm going to say to them. Even if you're just there to watch the baby for an hour while the mother naps. It doesn't have to be a whole thing where we're talking about our personal lives and trying to catch up and stuff like that. Like, yes, there won't be any alcohol involved, or maybe they will, but it doesn't have to be the same, That's when you understand that the relationship is building, the relationship is changing. I genuinely, from birth to 3 months, I suggest checking in on the person, the baby mama, the baby mama every day, especially if you consider yourself close to this person. Then after 3 months, that's when you can check in on them at least once a week, because there's less changes that are happening so frequently, because at the beginning it's so frequent. Then after 6 months, check in at least every 2 weeks to see if they're fine. Okay, as I was saying, so it's every day for the first 3 months, definitely. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, if you consider yourself what I would have wanted, which I got from my friends and family members who have children, was they checked in on me every day. And that's what I needed. I needed people who would see if I'm okay. How are you feeling? How are you healing? Mentally, spiritually, physically. I needed that, and I got that. But it's unfortunate that you only get that from somebody who's going through or had gone through parenthood. That's why I'm making this video. So every day from birth to 3 months, once a week from 3 months to 6 months or 9 months, and at least every 2 weeks. Between like 6 months and a year, at least every 2 weeks. Check in on the mom, check in on the baby, check in. Like, I made this video about checking in probably when my baby was 3 months. I don't actually remember. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I can figure out when it. I need to find it. Oh, I made the video about checking in at 6 months when my baby was 6 months. So even if you are going through it, I'm going to tell you right now, whatever you're going through will never, ever, 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 ever. I'm not even trying to be deep. It will never be as hectic as what a new mom is going through. Okay? If you're a guy and you have a friend who's about to have a child as well, check in on him, because also he's going through it. It's not just the mom who's going through it, but like, I'm trying to say it from my perspective, that you need to check in. There's nothing that you can go through that you can tell me right now is worse than how a new mom feels, because so much changes, and there's nothing worse than having your relationships change just because you're a mom. You know, the one thing that is a blessing to you, you know, your highest priority, your highest love, your highest joy is literally making people disperse. Do you know how that's heartbreaking? That's why I'm saying check in, because it's not like, even if it's just to see how the mom and the baby is doing, because eventually you'll actually see that the mom will actually start asking you how you are. She will actually be more open to hearing what it is that you're going through, so she can help you as well, because she still wants to be that person to you. And I'm stating that from my own fucking understanding. But yeah, it's still kind of a sore subject, because, you know, especially at this point in my life, I am the kind of person who, if I have a conversation with you, right, say you've heard me, and I have a conversation with you and you tell me your side of the story, I can actually put myself in your shoes. I think the problem comes where a lot of the people cannot put themselves in mine, and it's just, it irks me. Like, it annoys the shit out of me. But it's like, it's understandable. We can't all be at the same place when it comes to understanding people. So I can put myself in other people's shoes. I can understand why that would have happened, because I was doing the same thing years back, you know. But this is technically just suggestions from me. Also, if you're a new mom, reach out. Reach out to people that you want to still be close to. Speak your mind. I believe in speaking your mind at least once. If nothing changes after that, then at least you tried. Always follow your instincts. Always do what you believe is best for you and your baby. And you'll always know. Always just keep an open mind. The one thing that I learned from a friend is that labels are the things that kind of fuck us up. Like how a friendship can become sour because of expectations as soon as you say best friend, or a relationship can become painful or difficult after you get married just because of the word husband or wife. Labels are a bit hectic. And I feel like the best thing that we can do is try not to like focus on the labels, because there's always a time when you're going to have to go into hermit mode and figure yourself out, figure out what you want, what you need from life. And then eventually, everything will probably fall back into place again. Like what she was saying is that you'll be shocked. 1 or 2 years down the line, you'll be spending time with those same people again. The same people who weren't there for you for the first 2 years of this beautiful new change in your life. In about 2 years' time, you'll find yourself spending time with those same people. And in the same way that you kind of the same way that you would have before your beautiful change. So yeah, my suggestion is don't focus so much on labels. You're going to break your own heart. Open up a bit more. Follow your instincts. Listen to advice. But always choose what you think is best for you and for your baby, and obviously your small knit family. Never let anyone make you feel guilty for making a decision that you think is best for you. Always be honest with yourself, because there's such a fine line, especially after giving birth, between being okay and being depressed. And postpartum depression is real, yo. So if you need to reach out, reach out. But as I said, as the friend, as the family member who thinks they're close to this person, always make sure you reach out also. Like, even if they don't say anything, always show them that your door is open, so that they can have somebody to lean on when they're ready to. Because I'm telling you right now, the decisions you have to make after making a child, after having a child, are probably the most important that you'll ever make in your life. And I'm not even joking. But yeah, that was a deep ass video. Oh, the light agrees. That was a deep ass video. Anyway, I just wanted to state that just a few things that you guys need to look out for, and hopefully this will reach people who are either pregnant or have somebody close to them who is pregnant, so that you can always be what you wish to be for other people, as the person who knows somebody else who's about to give birth. And so that you, as the new mom, also can know that you're not being selfish for being the way you are after having a baby. But yeah, that's about it. Well, that video went from deep to deepest. Okay, so as far concern return. But yeah, I'll link my other video about checking up and when else you checked up, because you know, in all honesty, I really think it's the mothers that go through it a lot. Yes, the dads do as well, but you're checking on your mom, friends. Checking on your mom, friends. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about my journey, let me know in the comments below. I will just put a little comment myself, and then you can carry on with the conversation. Like, how long ago did you have a baby? Are you pregnant now? Do you have a friend or a family member who's pregnant now? Let's chat. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed.